Okay, let's start with the SPY here. As we were saying, 500 to 504 zone as that near-term bounce level, which it is holding. It's really put in a lot of time in this zone now. Just touching this 502 zone a few times. So it's looking pretty strong, but with this afternoon's Fed talk, we went through a little bit of a whipsaw, and I'd like to see a little bit more digestion in here to kind of work that craziness out that we had here this afternoon, to really feel confident about a move up, potentially. I would say somewhere as high as 519 would be a safe bet. So that's the SPY. Let's look through some of these names. We've been talking about RBLX. Still kind of in the same situation. Took a whack yesterday. But I mean, it's still hanging around. We just got to stay patient. Like I said before, a lot of these trades are big picture longs that you have to be patient for, but they can yield huge wins. So we'll stay patient. We'll keep looking. I'm really looking to see this kind of have a nice green day, consolidate, and shape up a little better than this. So that's kind of the status of RBLX. Let's see. Hub C, as I was saying, it had a good opportunity yesterday, the day before yesterday, and yesterday. But as I was saying, this isn't something I would hold on to very much more than just one day. And it proved that today, putting in a red day. But it had an interesting little intraday 15-minute 3-day chart here. I was looking at this as a little scalp long, but you know, these, I'm just not a big fan of that approach. But interesting move. You got to keep an eye on it with this whole Israel news. So that's something, but kind of a back burner. Upwork, as I was saying, this one's kind of fizzled out. It's kind of fizzled out, but we'll continue to watch it from a distance. Let's see what else we got. We had, what is it? Krispy Kreme, as I was saying last night, about I'd like to see this kind of blow through this final zone and flirt with this gap area here, this air pocket, and it started that. So that's actually a good thing. Sometimes I like to peek at these. I use the 20 and the 50 SMA. I just take a peek at them and then I get them off. So this one's still brewing for sure. I keep saying the same thing, but it has to be said. It's these big pictures look incredible. Now it's a matter of timing it up with the overall market and getting yourself a precise entry with quality risk reward. I mean, if you nail an entry on something like this and you work a good exit strategy where you're scaling out, this thing could be huge. I mean, this could go to 20 if you're willing to really hold it for the long run. And you don't know. I mean, it did have a day like this already. It's proven that it can have an explosive move. So a couple of those in a row, you can be done with the trade pretty quick. It's all about the timing. Let's see. I was actually looking at Chewy, good old Chewy. This thing has just been slaughtered. But this is a name that I kind of like as the company. I feel like for some reason I like this company. I mean, you can't deny there's a lot of support in here. Weekly 1 year. I mean, big support. So this is something I'm kind of keeping my eye on. But this is something that I'm not going to get too emotionally invested in. I mean, kind of looks nice there though. I like when it kind of squeezes in the moving averages. Again though, similar kind of daily chart as RBLX kind of had that little rally and then just fell off a cliff. So it always comes down to the overall market. Let's see what else we had. A couple other quick ones. Beyond Meat I've been talking about. You know, this thing's kind of a piece of junk. It's fallen off the radar a bit, but I want to keep looking at it. I want to stay. You know, I want to keep my finger on the pulse here. So we'll check in on it, see if it looks good. Move on. Let's take a peek at this real quick. Yeah, I mean, let's see what else we got. What else did I see? I was looking at this ZIM. Interesting. I believe this is an Israel shipping company. So this, I'm picking up on something here. I feel like there could be some action here. Just that macroeconomic type catalyst. There could be something here. We just need some big volume to flow in. I mean, this is a weekly 1 year. This put in a nice move from 740 all the way to 1540. So we're gonna keep our eye on ZIM from now on. It's looking good on the hourly. It's looking a lot like the SPY here. Kind of rounding out in there. So we'll keep watching that one. That's something we'll throw on the list. Put that in the bullpen. See what else I got. Let's see. I had mentioned this one. MNKD. Crazy monthly 5-year. Potential for a big move up to 6 and beyond. Maybe. Who knows. But this thing, I don't know, it just looks juicy. But for now, it's in the bullpen. Let's see, Reddit. Reddit's kind of interesting. I like these moves. I like these IPOs after they fall off and everyone forgets about them. That's when I find you can get some juicy moves. Actually, it was Reddit. I remember watching this in here. It was kind of a micro version of what I'm explaining with the entire chart, but this in here, I don't know if we can see it, but yeah, I was looking at this here and I missed this move and it was painful, but that's the way it goes. So Reddit has potential. I mean, this thing looks juicy on the 30 minute 7 day. it's got this beautiful tight action. Even this was nice right here, but I was looking at this earlier. If you were to play this this little moment in here would have taken you for a ride. So you always got to kind of think about that, you know. It's not as clean as unless, and that's why I preach the bigger time frames, because when you look at this on this 30-minute 7, it doesn't look that scary. But if you're watching this on a, you know, a 5-minute chart and you're watching every tick, this stuff is going to stress you out, and you're probably going to stop out, and then it's going to go without you. So pros and cons depending on your stance on the time frames, but I find bigger time frames, bigger profits, you know, less emotion. But let's see what else. This here, Macy's, kind of had a cool look. I always start with the monthly and then I zoom in if you haven't caught the drift yet. But there's a nice tight move in here on the monthly. So we got 20 as the top here, but I'm starting to think maybe short. This is one of those names where I get myself in trouble because I'm a perma bear. It's like I have a basket of perma bear stocks, and this is one of them. So to me this looks like a short, but I'm questioning if that's just my own perma bear bias tricking me. So I can't tell, but it looks interesting to me. I'm curious to see if it makes it out of this 20 range and makes its move up to 21, or if it's going to roll over and have a big fade, because this has a long way to go if it comes down. So there's a couple ideas. We'll talk to you tomorrow.